In a surprise turn of events, Congress has done something that could completely change the way cryptocurrency works in the US and around the world. What this move is all about is XRP, the digital asset that Ripple made. XRP was added by the US Congress to the Clarity Act on page 42, section 9. This wasn't an after-the-fact addition or a typo. This is the law. The effects are huge, and XRP is now positioned to become the most important digital asset for international money transfers. For international money transfers. There is more clarity in the rules thanks to the Clarity Act, and XRP will be able to join the regular banking system in ways we have never seen before. What does this mean for the price of XRP, though? Could we be looking at something that goes up to $10,000? This video goes over the most important parts of the Clarity Act. It also talks about whale behavior in the market and Brad Garlinghouse's mysteriously deleted tweet. Finally, it looks at how all of this might affect the price of XRP in the near future. To begin, let us talk about the secret Clarity Act draft that started going around before the vote. Many people in the know think that the part of this bill that talks about digital assets working with each other is a direct reference to XRP. The idea of interoperability is very important in the world of blockchain and cryptocurrency, even though the language isn't very clear. XRP has long been seen as a bridge currency that links different blockchain systems and makes international transactions faster and cheaper. This is now written into law by Congress, which shows that they see XRP as an important part of the banking system. In practice, it can be a legal digital asset that can be added to the banking system that is already in place. Before we go into more detail about the possible price expectations, let's talk about something very important. What the whales are doing. The market has gone through some very strange changes in the past few months. A huge group of investors called crypto whales, who own a lot of XRP, started moving an unbelievable amount of it right before the vote on the Clarity Act. There's no doubt that these whales weren't having fun when they bought over 400 million XRP. Whales usually know something that the average person doesn't when they make big purchases like this. With the Clarity Act coming up, these whales were getting ready for what could be a huge price increase. This kind of market action shows that the whales are betting on the future success of XRP. As the new law becomes clearer, it looks more and more like their bet will pay off. If that wasn't enough to get your attention, check out the strange tweet from Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. A few weeks ago, Garlinghouse sent out a mysterious tweet that said, "Washington gets it." The tweet was quickly taken down, but not before it got a lot of attention in the Bitcoin world. Why would Brad Garlinghouse, who runs a big coin company, say something so obvious? And why would he quickly take it down? Some people think the tweet was a subtle reference to Ripple's continuing talks with Congress, especially about the Clarity Act. Garlinghouse has always been very clear about Ripple's goal to use XRP to power a global payment system. It's possible that his tweet proves that Washington, especially Congress, is starting to see XRP value in the future of money. Ripple and the CC have been at odds for a while now. But this tweet makes it seem like Ripple's mission is getting support in Washington, even though they are in court battles. But let's stop guessing and look at what the Clarity Act really means in the real world. What comes next? What does this new rule mean for the price of XRP? So let's take a look at the rules and regulations. Now that the Clarity Act has been passed, XRP is ready to be fully integrated into the traditional banking system. Condonal coins are going through a big change right now. The crypto area has had trouble for years with unclear regulations. Governments and banks have been slow to accept digital assets because they think they are unstable and don't have clear rules about how to handle them. But now that the Clarity Act is law, XRP has the legal certainty it needs to grow. This means that banks and other financial institutions can now work with XRP without worrying about being regulated, which is likely to lead to more institutional acceptance. When large investors start to back a product like XRPs, the market usually changes in a big way, and the value of XRP shows that. What about the cost? Is it possible for XRP to hit $10,000? Let's look at the math. At the moment, one XRP is worth about $1. Because the Clarity Act makes regulations clearer, more people may start using XRP. If this trend continues, $100 XRPs might be possible in 2 years. If banks, financial institutions, and governments around the world use XRP as the standard for sending money across borders, its market value would go through the roof. That's not all, though. If you look at the world market as a whole, the ultimate price path for XRP, $10,000, becomes possible. The global money transfer market is worth trillions of dollars. If XRP becomes the main currency for international money transfers, even a small portion of this market could send the price through the roof. Uncertainty about the rules is important here. Now that the Clarity Act has publicly recognized XRP place in the financial ecosystem, it is no longer just a financial asset that people use for speculation. It is a temporary currency that is recognized by the government and is part of the world's financial system. Fears about regulations have kept institutional investors from getting involved up until now. They can now do so with trust. The price will definitely go up because of this wave of institutional capital. Also, when regulations are clear, the government may be more likely to adopt them. It's possible that the price of XRP will reach unimaginable heights if the US government starts to use it for official business or partnerships. As the price of XRP goes up, so do the things that can be done with it. Some of the biggest banks in the world are already using XRP. These include Santander, American Express, and PNC. But now that the Clarity Act has made it easier for more banks to join, it's likely that more will do so. The need for XRP will only grow as it is more fully integrated into the world's banking system. When there isn't enough supply to meet rising demand, prices go through the roof. Don't forget about the CC either. Ripple and the US Securities and Exchange Commission have been at odds for years. However, the CC view on XRP is expected to change now that the Clarity Act is in place. The main thing the agency has always been worried about is whether XRP is a guarantee. But since Congress has officially said that XRP is a real digital currency, this sucks that they may not be able to use it as evidence against Ripple. This means that Ripple can keep working without having to worry about an expensive court case. Now what do? It looks like XRP has a better future than ever. XRP is about to become an important part of the world's banking system, thanks to the Clarity Act. Demand will continue to be driven by whale trading, institutional investment, and government adoption. To be honest, the price could easily skyrocket. Some people might think $10,000 in XRP is crazy, but now that regulations are clear and institutions are continuing to accept it, it's not as crazy as it seemed at first, and XRP is at the center of it all. This is a turning point in the history of cryptocurrencies. In the end, the Clarity Act has made way for a new era in the world of digital goods. In the eyes of the law, XRP is no longer an unknown amount. It's a well-known asset that could soon be the basis of the world's banking system. With big investors and whales buying in and the government soon to follow suit, XRP is about to break through the $1 mark and reach new heights. Could $10,000 in XRP happen? As of now, it looks like this digital product will have a bright future. Only time will tell, though. Thanks for listening. If you want to learn more about XRPs and the future of cryptocurrency, make sure to like, share, and follow. In this space that changes so quickly,